Gamers Ledge presents.
No, just don't let it go. I started the fight, but now I'm losing. So, will I fall again? I'm scared of heights, yet it was me who ran away.
Talking them down from the ledge. With your hosts, Dave, Matt, and Mark. Here's how it works. Every week, a new assertion. The others have to try to talk them down from the ledge. This week, warning, spoilers will be discussed in this show. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of Talking Them Down from the Ledge. I am your host Mark. Joining me this week, as always, we have the principal Matt.
Howdy.
And of course, the Leginator Dave.
Good morning.
Yeah, okay. Hopefully
Shush.
somewhere it is, yes.
I took a nap, sorry.
This week's topic, are companies exploiting geeks? The issue at hand, are companies exploiting geeks? The password is yes. As I will state for 5 minutes, we will then have a 5-minute follow-up from one of these two fine and handsome gentlemen, and then the other one will take a turn. I'm not saying which is which there. And then finally there will be a 5-minute cross-examination in which these two gentlemen will get to ask me questions. And then there will be a 2-minute summation in which I will say what the best argument of the day is and whether or not I have changed my position. So with that being said, 5 minutes on the clock. It goes up somewhere above me, one side or the other, because I looked last time and it was all backwards. But 5 minutes starts now. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Okay, there's no jury, but there is us, and we're all geeks. And I hate to say it, but there is a sham being perpetrated on us by companies today. Yes. Corporate industry and greed is running amok, I say. And the problem is that if you look back to 1978 and you see the number of toys on shelves and you see the amount of products being advertised at adults that would be toy-like, in origin, the number was very small. There were toys for children. But then there was this whole Star Wars thing that came out. And suddenly, they made billions of dollars in toys for kids. But then those kids grew up. And those kids became us. And as such, we have things like memories of Nintendo games. And memories of chiptunes. And suddenly, this permeates our culture everywhere. Why? Is it for a love of the product? No, I say. Is it for a love of the culture? No, I say. Is it for a love of us? No, I say. It is purely financial reasons. Business. Churning out a brand new industry with thousands upon thousands of stickers that say, I love geeks, that inundate rows, entire walls, I say, of Hot Topic. These things are not made because somebody loves them. They are made because they want to make a buck on us. And I say, that is shim sham flibbledy flu no more. I'm not even going to take 5 minutes because I don't need it. Over to you. Who's going first?
Can I
Dave
go?
raised his hand, so he's good.
Go ahead.
Go.
Mark, you ignorant slut. Seriously, how can you say this is a bad thing? Look at this. That is a Lego helicarrier. Giant Lego helicarrier. Purely aimed at adults, obviously. It's $350. But it's so awesome. How can anything that awesome be bad? How? I ask you that. How could anything that awesome be bad? Seriously. I have an X-Wing over there that's made out of Lego that costs $200. And it's so awesome. And then there's the B-Wing that costs $200. It's really awesome. And then there's the Batman tumbler that costs $200. It's really awesome. And it comes with the Heath Ledger Joker, and it's the only Lego set that comes with the Heath Ledger Joker. Now I get the look on your face, and how you're like, see, you're making my argument for me. Okay? And I get that. I get how somebody with such a myopic vision in life would think that. But my thing is nobody held a gun to my head to say that you had to buy the Batman tumbler or the helicarrier, which is awesome. They're giving me options, okay? So it's like, I grew up with Lego. I love Lego. Everybody does. Everybody should. And they give you these awesome options for the adult. It's something that grew with you in life. Why should you stop enjoying the stuff that you liked as a kid? Using your argument, we should enjoy stuff as a kid, grow up, and not have anything to enjoy anymore because we're responsible adults. I say thee nay, sir. I say it is an awesome thing that I can go into a Lego store and I can get something that's geared toward me instead of saying maybe buying the junior version of the Batmobile that might not be as cool. You know, I think it's kind of awesome that I can go and buy a Duplo version of the Batmobile for my kid and then walk out with the adult version of the Batmobile for myself. So tell me, in what world is that a bad thing where we as adult geeks have options and have the ability to pick up things? So going by your logic, if that's taking advantage of us, so those one-shot DC animated stuff that's geared toward adults, like say the Assault on Gotham, for instance, it's one of their middle-of-the-line movies, but clearly has a more mature slant to it. You're saying that's a bad thing. And it's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That gives awesome story options that are still animated for adults to enjoy. I just can't agree that that is a horrible thing to have. Options like that. Instead of just having to sit with the stuff we had as a kid and say, like, that's all you have to enjoy and enjoy that for the rest of your life and you don't get anything new. I don't agree with that, sir. That's terrible. Matt?
I appreciate Mark's argument. We've talked about this previously before and other things. I mean, the hunter-gatherer mentality in especially the male human is a very strong thing. And if it's something you're interested in and you have disposable income and you can easily get it, it is not an easy thing to resist. However, I lay that responsibility at the feet of the geek. This is not the company's fault. I love the fact that I can go and I can get a shirt that's got Pokemon Avengers that I can wear to an Avengers movie and then end up getting an Avengers tin popcorn container that I absolutely didn't need, but I was going to get popcorn anyway. So why not? The concept that we're being exploited is only valid if we as a geek culture are allowing ourselves to be exploited. We are the consumer. We have the cash. We have, presumably, the free will to do with it as we wish. While many things are desirable, as a responsible adult, blah, I don't get to buy everything I want. I don't get to play everything I want. I don't get to read everything I want or watch everything I want or go to the theater to see every movie I want because I have other obligations. And if I let those obligations get out of whack, then my wife kills me. I mean, things get out of balance. So ultimately, it is at the feet of the geek. If you are buying crappy product just because it is geek themed into some geek thing that you enjoy, you're encouraging companies to put out more crappy product. If you're buying high quality product, you're encouraging them to put out more high quality product. And if you're not buying anything, then eventually it'll dry up and go away. So ultimately, we live in a consumer driven country. I would say there's probably a self-control issue among the geek community because we do have all of these awesome things. And we have, there is a $200 Ewok Village, $100. I forget how much, what was that? The $150, $200? I forget what it was. The Ewok Village sitting right there.
I think it was $250.
For Legos. I've got a $350 Imperial class Star Destroyer sitting in the basement because I don't have anywhere to put it up here right now. But I don't have nearly the number Dave does because I can't justify that cost. Doesn't mean I don't want it, but it comes down to you don't always need everything you want. That is my closing.
That begins our 5-minute question and answer period. Who has the first question?
So, Mark, would you rather have nothing?
Not the point.
It is the point, though.
No, see, I think you've actually perverted my point into something a little bit askew. My point was that they're not making these things because they love it. They're making it because people buy them and they can make a buck on them. I would rather see those Legos be put out because someone cared enough about them. They had passion behind the project to do it, and it didn't cost $250 for it. But we had something more affordable that was made from a passion project, as opposed to just a financial business reason.
You have a follow-up? Go ahead.
I kind of do have a follow-up for that, because if you've seen, they put out like developer session videos of, like, say, for instance, the Slave 1 that they did, which was like another big adult $200 set, Ultimate Collector Series. You could see the passion in the project that the person had. And that's not the only thing available. They have lesser versions of those sets available that they always put out. So it's not like the only way you can get a Boba Fett is in this $200 set. The only way you can get a Slave 1 is this $200 set. This is just the best possible thing that they can deliver to you. And Legos are just, Lego tends to be more expensive. So they offer you that scale, if you wish. So you have the smaller one you can get, and you have the larger one you can get. And when you watch the people who build it, they are so excited that they are part of that project. It is something that they've loved their entire lives. And they are able to bring that to you.
And I probably think that in that particular context, you are right. However, if you look at a lot of other companies, I don't think you could say the same thing. Activision comes to mind immediately.
I guess to my question is just, so what? This is not a unique situation that we're in. People who like alcohol get exploited with all kinds of gimmicky alcohol. People who like novels get sucked into buying, 1001 trash, not even written by James Patterson books that have his name on it. So what's the difference here?
We're supposed to be smart.
Ooh, sick burn.
Oh, okay. I can't argue that one. I can't argue that one. Got it. All right. Copy. I don't have another question. You knocked them all right out of me. Dave, save us.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing that I actually like about the geek culture is that I think that actually forces higher quality product. We wouldn't have those excellent Star Wars sets in Lego, for instance, if we weren't smarter and demanded more from the companies. Sure, there's other companies out there doing subpar product, but at the same time, I don't think they're rewarded as much. Like, I mean, that's why you're seeing, for example, like the movie studios now bowing to Marvel. They're starting to come around and saying, okay, help us deliver quality product because what you're doing works and what we're doing isn't working. So I think because the community is overall, smart, hopefully, we are getting, discerning. We are getting more quality product because of that. It didn't happen right away, but it's happening slowly but surely now, and I think that's a good thing. There's consolidation and a flight to quality now.
This one's tough for me because I will say that the best argument of the day is the one that Dave posed in terms of that there are passion projects out there and that because we are intelligent, there should be a flight towards quality. I still am not really convinced, especially when you look at the gaming spectrum, the entire concept of DLC negates that entire argument and instead completely plays off of the hunter-gatherer mentality and the impulse buy mentality rather than the quality discerning purchase side of things. Otherwise, DLC wouldn't exist at all. We wouldn't have $2.50 horse armor that you download from Activision for its games, etc. So I think that on this particular instance, that while that was the best argument, I think I have not changed my position. I think that geeks are being taken advantage of by companies. Now, not all companies. I'm not making that as a blanket statement that every company is bad. I think, as you stated, Lego, as I would point out, certain indie video game development companies, certain even larger companies, I think hold the gamer's core essence at heart better. And I would look at Sony for that. I'm not saying they're perfect, but I think in terms of do they have passion for what they do? Yeah, and I think it shows, especially after they got their asses kicked with the PlayStation 3. So I think you have not talked me down from the ledge, and I die.
Woo! Oh wait.
But beyond that, join us next week. If you like the show, like and subscribe. Also, do visit the website at gamersledge.com. Visit our Patreon at patreon.com/gamersledge. And then, of course, follow us on Twitter at gamersledge and facebook.com/gamersledge. Until next week, game on.
Game on.
Game on.
How is this the bad thing? How? How can he say that's a bad thing? That is an awesome thing. Look above that. That's the German Indiana Jones set that's the Indiana Jones set with the German mechanic. That's awesome. How can you hate on that? How can you say that's a bad thing? He's crazy. He's insane. He's insane.
So I happen to know that Mark used to be a peddler of wares to a certain type of clientele that we shall refer to as the more geeky variety. So he does have a unique perspective on this, on both sides, being both a consumer and a supplier, dealer, one might say. And, he made a solid argument. He shot down my question with 2 words, really actually threw my own argument back at me, that it's really the consumer that has the control here, which I still think is accurate. Is there a lot of garbage out there? Yeah. Is there a lot of quality out there? Yeah. It's really up to the consumer to figure out which one's which and which thing they want to support. Do you want to buy the next Call of Duty or do you want to buy the next Axiom Verge?
Well, I'm surprised that Matt didn't bring up the fact that I actually used to own a retail store catering to, let's just say, geek inclined clientele, because I was sure that was going to enter the conversation somewhere, but I think that probably is what makes me a little jaded to a point, in that, not that I took advantage of anyone. I did try to get to know my customers and be able to make smart recommendations for them based on the things they like. But the funny part is if you went to a similar store of what we did, 9 times out of 10, those people did take advantage of the clientele just to push anything and everything on them. And so that's actually kind of the basis for my argument today, which, although funny as always, I think is actually a serious one that we need to think about. So I was happy and unhappy, because I kind of wanted to be talking down from this area of pessimism, but it didn't happen. But maybe they'll get me yet.